Hello, my name is Quentin Cooper. Some may know me as Irate, but you are now listening to the introduction to my very own podcast, The Struggles of a Local Artist. With this podcast, we would discuss topics on how to overcome obstacles in the industry and some things that you might face as a local artist, interviews, and much more. So stay updated by subscribing to my YouTube channel, Irate Music. Tune in every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Thank you. Looking forward to see you there. Brow! All right, welcome back to the podcast, The Struggles of a Local Artist. I'm here with my special guest / co-host, Adrian. Shout out to my mans. Shout out to him. All right. So, like every other episode, we do a little Bible scripture, and then I'm gonna start doing fun facts too, just like a little quick, just to make it so like the podcast is not too boring, and we can also talk about different things other than just music and stuff like that. You know, switch it up a little bit. But so the scripture that I found today was, "Therefore I tell you, whenever you ask for prayer, believe that you will have to receive, and it will be yours." Mark 11:24. So that's a really powerful scripture. So in other words, it's saying that, you know, if you believe what you pray, things like that, it'll basically be speaking it into existence. So that's kind of powerful. And then the fun fact I found, which is something based on Rochester, which is kind of cool. You know, we both from Rochester, whoever's listening to this. So it says that Rochester is like one of the snowiest cities in like all of America. I guess they average around 89.3 inches of snow a year, so that's kind of crazy. Like, we're damn near up there with Alaska, so that's kind of interesting. And so today I'm gonna introduce my co-host, and then I got a couple questions for him that are music related and related to this podcast. So with the first question, we're just gonna basically just introduce yourself and like tell, you know, the audience what you're about music and what's your plans for music, or like how you're gonna approach music with this year and the following year, 2020, and basically tell them what you do, what you're doing right now, like if you're working in school, whatever the case may be. So just introduce yourself, and we'll go from there.
Alright, so what's up? My name is Adrian. I go by a lot of different names. Most commonly, you can find me as Adrian.unloved on Instagram. That's my favorite social media, the one I'm most active on. Rap name, all of that, stage name. We still in the process of working on all of that, so we're going to get that figured out later.
That's what's up.
But if you want to come follow me, show me love, support anywhere, that's where you could do it at. I got Twitter too, but I'm not too active on there yet, so yeah, when the time comes, the time will come for that. As for music, I don't get to record as much as I would like to. I definitely got to get in the studio and record some more stuff. I got a few tracks recorded right now with Narco, Dior, Rob, and Lil Tutu. And those ain't dropped yet, but those are pretty fire. We just got to get them mixed and mastered. For the rest of 2020, like I said, I definitely want to get in the studio and record some songs, like just for fun. Me, when it comes to music, I think that music is an art form. So when you do stuff like music, it's essentially just an expression of yourself, your thoughts and your feelings. So when you make music, it's like you putting yourself into whatever that is, like whatever you say, whatever you do.
Definitely. Basically, like, in other words, like, pretty much making music and, like, kind of like, you know, like how people, like, basically it's a way of expressing themselves and, like, pretty much a way to show, like, things that they can't really, you know, show people while talking to them. You saying, like, is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. Music is just like Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa or anything like that. Like,
right.
It's as complex or as simple as you want to make it. Like me, myself, I don't just do music. Like, I'm also in school, like in college, and I do like YouTube videos too. Like, I do editing. I'm like an actual like artist, like pen and paper type deal, digital type deal. Like, mix and dabble in a lot of different areas and things. So I'm just starting to.
Right. So you don't want your creativity to just be exclusively music. You trying to, you know, explore different things outside of music, you know, and stuff that kind of benefits you with music as well, right?
Yeah. I'm always like looking for new things to try out, new things that I can show, like.
Definitely, that's what's up, man.
Expression.
You're not
closed-minded. Like, I definitely love. Nah, not at all. I definitely love like different types of art, like visual arts. Like, I really love like edits and production, like the production value on certain films, like Marvel movies and stuff like that. Like, it's always fascinating to just sit there and like observe that and see what it's like, and it's pretty cool.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, that you know, that's great that you have, you know, those characteristics, given the fact that, you know, some artists, they just, you know, they stick with just one thing, but then there's like the other ones that are like, you know, Ice Cube, who, you know, does other things just music, which is kind of dope, because, you know, that's how you make money, you know what I'm saying, when you just do other things other than just one thing, because when you start to just do one thing, you get bored of it, and then at the same time, it's like, you know, it may not work out just doing one thing. So, and also too, you know, every time, the thing about music is like it like changes within a couple of years. Like, you know, like 5 years ago we was listening to drill music, and now it's like a whole different type of, you know, genre within hip hop. So it's kind of dope that you're doing other things than just music, you know what I'm saying? So that's what's up, man. Shout out my co-host. Yeah, but yeah, so basically, Adrian, he's going to be the co-host of this podcast, you know what I'm saying? He's going to help me out with a lot of these things on this podcast, and, you know, sometimes he's going to be doing episodes, and just to give me, like, a little break to, like, because what I want to do is, like, make it so, like, you know, I do episode, then you do episode, you know what I'm saying? Whether you interview somebody or whether you're just talking about whatever, you know, so it gives us a chance to actually jot down, you know, ideas and stuff, so it's not just like we kind of rushing or just coming up while we're talking, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I really wanted to get a co-host. So that's what's up, that I appreciate you having, you know, giving me the opportunity to have you on the podcast and helping me out, man. It means a lot. So, but let's get into these questions. So the first question I got for you today is, what got you into music?
What got me into music is, I mean, ever since I was like really young, when my stepbrother was living with me, he would have this book of raps that he would write down, and then, you know, he would go and record songs sometimes at my stepsister's house, or we would just be in his room. He would be freestyling, writing down raps, and then sometimes he would ask me about raps. But, you know, like, being in like the type of community that I'm from, like type of living situation environment, like, not poor, but, you know, like typical African American, like, you know, go to school, parents work and all of that, and, you know, like, you run into that culture of
let's just say less privilege, you know what I'm saying? That's
middle class. I don't want to say like less privilege, but, you know, it's I could definitely like have
I feel you.
Yeah. But like essentially what got me into music, like, again, more recently, is like I was like in a rut, and I was kind of feeling like I don't know how to express myself, stuff like that. Like, I was feeling down, so I was like, well, let me go get like a microphone, and then let me go start recording some music. Because actually, like, me and my friends had this one day where we like volunteering at school, and we went like in this back room, and we just started freestyling, and it was just like for fun. And then I was like, maybe I should like pick this up again, see what I could do with it, just, you know. But I never like had any like big plans of like going crazy or anything, but it's just more like something that I could do when I'm feeling up to it. Just never like forced or nothing like that.
That's what's up. And I feel like that's how it is for everyone, you know what I'm saying? Like, at first, they don't really take it serious until they, like, you know, see that they're good at it, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's how it is with everyone, because I was at a time in my rap career, music career, whatever you want to call it, where I was just, like, taking it as a joke, kind of. And then I was like, yo, man, I'm kind of actually good. Let me just keep trying to pursue this. Maybe I can get somewhere with it. So that's kind of dope that, you know, you got something that inspires you. And, yeah, that's interesting, though, like how, you know, you say your stepbrother, he kind of, like, got you into music. Are you still in touch with him, or is just like, is he still your stepbrother, or?
I don't hear from him no more. I mean, he did some real iffy stuff, so not like too crazy, but I don't talk to him that much.
Right, now I hear you. So yeah, I got a stepbrother too, and I can't even tell you the last time I seen him. But we're not gonna talk about that. But so the second question I got for you, it kind of relates to the first one. So what inspires you with music? Like, you know, what kind of motivates you, inspires you, what gets you moving with the music, you know what I'm saying?
Honestly, like, when I think about making music, like, main artist that I think of, rest in peace, XXXTentacion, like,
great artist.
Yeah, like, when I first heard his music, like, way back before he even had Cloud Everything, like 2016, I was just coming out of like a really bad relationship. And then, like, first song of his that I like really clicked with me is I Spoke to the Devil in Miami. And I was like, oh, this is like different. So I wanted to like check out more of his music, and like I just found myself like vibing more and more with his releases. Then it's
that's what's up.
The famous XXXTentacion song. Why is his name escaping me right now? The one that everybody sing like when they think of X, the one that was on the radio.
Like not Sad. Is it Sad?
Not Sad. The hype one.
Is it that one with
Kinky Mike,
Joey
Mike
Badass?
Pence. No, not
Oh,
that's the I know what song you talk.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
that
I know what you're talking about. When the one where he's like, I got my in my pen. Yeah, I know what you're talking. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know the song, but I know exactly what you're talking about. That's like his most popular song. And it's crazy how we
that's his
both
most
having
poppin'
blanks right
song.
now.
Yeah, that is crazy. But
You know what I'm saying? Shout out. Rest in peace, X, man.
yeah, that's not even my favorite song though by him. Like he got a lot of songs that people don't know about. That's like real
Right, but it's
bangers.
like the most common song, you know what I'm saying? And that's probably why we both drawing blanks, because usually like the most common songs, like if like for me, like, you know what I'm saying, like J. Cole's like one of my favorite artists, and
Right.
when people like, oh, what's your favorite J. Cole song? And then they'll like tell me theirs, and it'll be like one of his most like hottest songs. But
Right.
I'll be like, man, I don't even think I heard that, but I probably did heard it, you know what I'm saying? But it's just because it's like them songs you don't really bump on a daily. You bump his shit that's like from the way back when he first started, or like one of those like, you know what I'm
Right,
saying,
like
like his
forbidden
low
fruits
music.
and stuff like that.
Right, you know what I'm saying? That shit that nobody really hears, you know what I'm saying? But everyone hears the Crooked Smiles and Power Trips, but they don't really hear his old stuff from off his mixtape or none of that. So, but that's probably what's going on with you too, you know what I'm saying? Like every song that, you know, everyone knows, you know. But so my third question I got, so like what struggles have you faced with music or as an artist? Like what obstacles you face? You know what I'm saying? Like on the recent podcast, I talked with my homie from South Carolina, shout out him. We were talking about how, you know, we're kind of from a city where it's like, you know, it's so everyone's trying to make music, and you know everyone doesn't really support. They kind of get selfish when they get a little clout. You know what I'm saying? So what kind of obstacles did you face? Whether it's like, you know, people not supporting you enough, or you know, whether it's just like you get emotional with music, or it's like whatever obstacles. Like some obstacles I faced too when I first started making music was you know, it was really hard to get like shows, and when I did get shows I was paying out of pocket, and I'm just like to myself, like, why am I paying to perform? Like it should be the opposite, you know what I'm saying? So you know, talk about a little obstacles you faced, you know, what struggles you went through, so we can get kind of like related to the podcast.
Okay, so right now I'm not looking to perform or anything like that. I'm still kind of like building up my discography and like, you know, working on everything that I like, finding my sound, finding my like image and everything like that. So mainly like my main struggles right now is like really just finding that time to like actually go in and go to the studio, because like I got other
Right.
things that I'm working on as well, like trying to like
Right.
save up money to do stuff like that, and then I gotta balance my like work-life balance and then also my school balance too. I gotta make time for all of that.
Right.
So managing my time
Right.
is definitely a big aspect, but I never like really ran into like, oh, people get a little bit of clout and they not my homies no more. Like I was just in the studio, like my most like recent studio session, I was in the studio with like Tutu and Lil Tutu. Shout out my boy Will. My boy Rob. I don't know what he want to call himself, so I'm just gonna leave it at Rob. Rob Mill on Instagram if you want to go check him out. Lil Tutu on
Definitely.
Instagram too, and then Narco Dior, my boy Bryant. And like they got some popping songs. Like Narco got like a song with like 20K views.
Oh wow.
Tutu
Wow.
got a song.
Shout-
Like Tutu got a few songs, few bangers up there.
That's what's up.
And yeah, like those still my boys. Like I call them up right now and be like, yo, when y'all trying to get in the stew, and you know we gonna slide right back over to the stew, and it's not even gonna be a big deal like that, cause like those is really like my homies. You feel me? Like
Right. Now I feel you on that one. Yeah.
yeah.
And going back to like what you said, you know, juggling with time and stuff. That's one of the things that I struggled to when I was in school. I'm trying to get back into school. I talked about it in my first podcast. But when I was in college, and it was kind of hard working, and then at the same time trying to make music. I was dropping an album that year, my freshman year of college, and then
Right.
at the same time, you know what I'm saying, trying to you know, juggle homework and stuff. And it was just kind of, and also I did night classes because I worked, so it was like really hard. It was like, damn, my whole day is gone, and the weekends is the only time I had like time for music. But I still was able to drop it, but it was just such a struggle, you know what I'm saying, trying to juggle all three of those things. And I think any college student who makes music, you know, is gonna experience the same things that you and I did, you know what I'm saying. We're going to, you know,
Yeah,
with
definitely.
the timing and all that. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, back to what you were saying as well, to the you know, your homeboys and stuff like that. I had a group before VOF,
Right.
and you know, bro, like, it was, man, I had, like, these was people I grew up with, you know what I'm saying? Like, I literally knew these niggas since I was babies. And there have been times where they wouldn't even share my music, never asked for a feature, but then they were using my, like, I wouldn't say necessarily using me for my studio, but it seemed that way. But, you know, I know it was for a good cause, but it's like, at the same time, it's like, bro, like, we a group, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm saying, like, your boys, man, like, that's what's up. You need to keep them in your circle, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what's up, how they support you, and they, you know, oh, anytime you want to do a track, you know, come pull up at the studio. You know, that's what's up. Because I didn't have that, you know what I'm saying, until I got the VOF.
Right.
And, you know, we going through some struggles with that team right now, but we ain't going to talk about that either. But,
right,
yeah, so that's what's up, man. Definitely keep them boys in your group, you know what I'm saying, in your little circle, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, a lot of artists within, you know, rap groups and stuff don't have that, you know, and I really wish I did at the time because it was like, man, you know. But let's get on to question 4. What tips would you give any local artists, or just any artist in general, or just, it doesn't have to be it don't have to be tips necessarily related to music, because you did say you do graphic design and all that other stuff. So just artists in general, like, what tips would you give them?
All right. So, number one tip that I could give you as an artist is don't be afraid to have a job, right? But don't be afraid, like, to dedicate yourself to your art as well. So if you got like a part-time or a full-time or whatever, that's cool. Like, of course you need to make money, you need to live and all of that. But if at any point, like, you need to take your time and your energy and reorientate that towards your art, like, don't be afraid to do that. And I'm not saying like just blindly jump into the wind. Like, have a plan set up, like, have some savings for yourself, you know what you're doing. Like, don't just, oh, I'm about to quit my 9 to 5, I got $0 in my bank account, or I got just enough money in my bank account for one more studio session, or one more month of rent. Like, have a little safety cushion, you know, a backup plan. But don't be afraid to, like, you know, get into your art. My second tip would be for musicians. Like, if you're just starting off as an artist, like a rapper, singer, performer, whatever, don't be afraid to, like, use that low quality mic at first or whatever. And don't be afraid of, like, those free programs like Audacity. That's a real valid program. And then it's LMMS, which is like a beat maker. Like, you could get really in depth with, like, the free stuff. Like, you could really finesse with free stuff. Like,
that's
don't think that you need to go out.
Right, I had said that in I would say I probably echoed out, but I had said something similar to that, like, in my first podcast episode. I was saying how, you know what I'm saying, people, it's so easy to, like, you know what I'm saying, make music in this, like, time and age or day that we're living in, you know what I'm saying, because all you need really is just a computer and a mic, you know what I'm saying, and then you pretty much have all the tools that any professional studio would have, because you can get plugins for cheap, plugins for free, you know what I'm saying, softwares and all that. So that's why I'm saying, you know, that's a great tip, because I had used that similar tip. It was like, you know what I'm saying, you know, it's so easy to make music nowadays. Just, you know, get you a little mic, you know what I'm saying, get you a decent computer, and you be all good. So that's a great tip. I don't mean to cut you off, but I was just saying how that's such a good tip.
No, you straight, bro. That's how podcasts work. We gonna speak over each other at times. But
facts.
The point is, like, when you starting out, like, you could go get a $50 like Dell off of, like, Amazon or eBay or something, and then download your programs on that, and then save up money over time to, like, upgrade your setup. But like, yeah, just start off with something. Like, something is always better than nothing. Like, no matter what you're doing. Like, if you're an artist, then you gotta start off with a Galaxy Tablet 2, but you could draw on it, and you got a stylus, you go right ahead, bro. You get that Galaxy Tablet 2, and you work on your art as much as you want to. You feel me?
Right, and that's a fact, and that goes for whatever you do. You know what I'm saying? There's levels to everything, man. So
right. Probably my third tip would be just surround yourself with, like, some positive energy. Like, and if you can't get people who's gonna surround you with positive energy, like, I'm not saying get a yes man, but, like, don't be around negativity and stuff like that, because there's gonna be days where you're not gonna want to, like, work on your art. It's gonna be days where you're not, like, feeling the whole thing, and if you don't got, like, no positivity around you, like, you just gonna want to give it up. And if you give up, like, what you're working on, then you just let yourself down in a way. So you just gotta, like, keep motivated, keep focused, and make sure, like, you doing what you gotta do.
That's a fact. That's a great tip, man. Yeah, because motivation is one of the biggest keys in, being an artist. Because if you're not motivated to do what you want to do, then it's like you're not gonna create what you love. So definitely keep motivated. Definitely keep motivated. You got any more? Are those the last tips you got, or you want to move on to the next question?
Yeah. For now, I mean, of course, like more specific questions I can answer.
Right, and like I said, you're gonna be helping me with this podcast. So sometimes you'll run an episode, I'll run an episode. So so we don't want to give all the good stuff today.
Yeah, can't give you all the sauce right now. Come back for the next episode.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely. So I said tip. Question number 5: top 5 dead or alive.
Top 5. Okay. We just gonna put XXX as my number 1 because that's really my man's, bro. I was so devastated when I heard that he had like passed away. Like, it really like hit me hard, and like I just felt some type of way about it. Number 2.
I'm gonna say something below about X. It's crazy though because I'm not gonna be that type of person who I'm a front about something, but I'm gonna keep it a buck. Yo, when I first listened to X, I'm like, yo, this nigga, like, yo, this really what music is coming to? And then, like, I kid you not, bro. Like, I started, like, bumping some of his, like, more recent stuff. And I'm like, yo, this nigga is fire, bro. Like, what was I thinking? Like, why am I saying, you know what I'm saying? Why did I think he was ass? You know what I'm saying? Bro, his music, it talks to you. It speaks to you in a whole nother different way, you know what I'm saying? And it's great how he, he's so talented. And then it's, like, at the same time, it's, like, so sad that, he had passed. And it's just, like, and I know everything has an ending, but it's, like, yo, he was so young, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's how, because I remember I told you my homie got murdered, you know what I'm saying, three months ago, I think it was. And his birthday was yesterday. I had left some let balloons go for him. And he makes music too. Well, he did make music. And it's just like, man, I can't, grasp the fact that he's gone, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, he was a great artist too. He singed and rapped. And it's just like, man, like, really, like, and the way he went, too, it was like the same way X went. You know what I'm saying? He got murdered. And it's just so sad, But, I know that he's in a better place. And I know that because his little brother, that's who I had interviewed in my other podcast. And, he was talking about how, he got unreleased music. So his music's still going to live even though he's not alive. So that's what's up. And that's how it is with X. His stuff's still being released and his music's going to live forever. So, shout out X, man. And shout out, my homie on that one. Yo, can you hear me? Oh. Man, I done lagged out. Dang. Well, we're going to have to end the podcast there. Unfortunately, my internet connection had lagged out. But we're going to interview Adrian again. I really appreciate him being on the show today, you know what I'm saying? And he's going to, like I said, he's going to be my co-host. So, you're going to hear a lot from Adrian later on in the episode. So I appreciate everyone watching. Make sure you share and like this. Thank you, man.